All right. Just for a moment, let's just wake up some key pressure points in the upper body, as we often do. Little thymus activation under the sternum here. Leading that motion with a breath into the abdomen, lower abdomen. You can kind of go up and down all the way here. Get that nice and activated, and then switch to the lung points. Base of the fist. And it doesn't even have to be that specific point we often point to, but any in this zone is kind of seems effective. So let's move the energy, wake up bodies. Why don't we do one round on the arm, slapping down the inside to the wrist with some vigor. Slapping up the outside and back to the chest. Switch sides. Belly breath, and then slap one round. Back to the chest. Back to the sternum. And then let's do that lower or the middle abdomen, just making circles kind of in the direction the colon runs. So up the right, across, and down the left. So you're not mirroring me per se. And maybe not as hard, floppity wrists. And then one last self-massage upper body, the liver channel from the armpit to the hip. So on the front side of the side seam of our body, as if we had a seam. And this is going opposite the direction of the liver meridian. So kind of calming and quelling the overly yang, out of balance liver energy, which can manifest as frustration and anger. And stress. Other side. One direction. One more. And then we'll go into our belly breathing with hands on the lower abdomen and just finding a good way to be aligned with gravity. So soft knees, wide stance, and then just front to back, side to side, like aligned with gravity. So being upright is effortless, softening the front body. Allowing the breath, you can even push the belly out gently just to make some space for the diaphragm to drop, the lungs to fill. Check in that your chest isn't moving, it's your belly, it's making space. In and out through the nose. Down. One more in and out into the abdomen, into the lower lobes of the lungs. And a nice full exhale when you squeeze all the air out and the kind of belly comes really, or that belly button comes towards the spine. Back to natural breathing. And we'll do a little knocking on the door of life, enliven the spine. Wrapping. Good morning, Marna. Happy spring. Wrapping the arms around the belt. Knocking on the back body, wherever our arms reach, knocking around the belly and belt and side body, getting the liver channel there a little bit. And then open your eyes as you twist and engage them as you kind of examine range of motion with the twist, like stretching even how far you see behind you as you twist. Arms swing with momentum and hip with impact. And then we'll come up to the chest with the front hand. Twisting, looking, getting your neck involved, your eyes. And then come up to the trapezius, the cupped hand, knocking out tightness and tension. Gallbladder channel, ruled by the wood element. Celebrating the wood element today. Spring. Liver. I tend to not want to look behind me when I do this, but it's possible to do the full twist. And then come back to the chest. Good morning. To the belt. And then slowing into stillness. And feeling the fuzzy, tingly expression of your chi. Go into spinal cord breathing with bent knees. Fists are loose. Inhaling, opening gently if you're just, in the first part of your day, opening up the spine, extension and flexion. Probably more important to link this breath and the movement than how far you go. Few more, and then we'll make a variation. We'll pause for variation. We'll do we'll practice with the healing sound for the liver, the shh sound. And we're going to do, we'll open to the side, but I actually was just watching my teacher and he did a variation that we haven't been doing. So let me just show you what we're going to do. We're going to inhale to the side, exhale to the side, inhale to the side, come back to center, open the palms, and then do the sound shh. And with this position, it's such a good opportunity to just like squeeze out all the breath, and really empty the lungs. So you're like using your arms, your palms, and then we'll go to the other side and we'll do that a couple times on each side, something like that. So again, we're moving the stagnant energy, the emotionally kind of energy, often of stress, frustration, anger, out of the liver, any other thing we could call pathogenic chi, just to kind of release stagnation. So making some space for some tonified goodness. So inhale to the side. You're also in extension. Exhale to the side. And no sound, just through the mouth. Elbows come together. Inhale again to the side, arching and twisting. Come back to the center. Open the palms. On the other side. Exhale to the side. Inhale to the twist. Come back to the side, center. Alternating. Exhaling to the side. Fists are loose. Inhaling to the side. Back to center, open palms. Opposite. Last time. In and out to the side. One more time in. Come back to the center. Now let's do some pumping. Exhaling through the mouth. Warming the legs up. Purging just any energy that just can leave any stagnation. Bending and straightening the knees on the way up and the way down to create the momentum. And then let's just pull down some energy, any lightheadedness, and to fill up that place that's open and receiving. Space we made. And we're going to do a healing sound, healing color practice for the liver that we have not done, that I learned a while back. And I'm going to do it, show you, we're going to either clasp the fingers like this. If you don't have that range of motion, which I really don't, you can grab the back of your hands. Just do one a little, we're creating a stretch. And we're going to lean to the left to stretch the right side of the body. So I could do this, and now you can follow me in my shape. And what we're going to do, is we're going to inhale as we come up, bend over to the left, and exhale, healing sound. So we're stretching the canvas of the liver here. We're exhaling, and then we're going to straighten up, and we're going to inhale and gather green light and bring our hands over the liver, not touching, and then visualize green, bright green, spring green light in the liver, right near the bottom part of the rib cage. And take a breath or two here. The green light could be emanating from within or coming from your hands or whatever might be more natural. But see if you can engage that, your imagination, your vision, which is a quality of the liver. And then we'll do it again. Inhaling, hands up. Bend over to your left side. Inhale, gather. Breathing in and out through the nose, visualizing green light. Tonifying the liver with the healing color. The wood element is all those beings in the forest, all the plants, the things that grow, that rise towards the heavens that are green with chlorophyll, rooted and flexible. And then we'll do it one more time. Inhale, gather the hands. Bend to the left side. Inhale, gather. Visualize green in the liver, around the liver, through the liver. Well, maybe a smile to the liver, that inner smile or outer smile energy of appreciation. Over 500 functions this organ does. This organ is also a gland, I learned recently. Like, so it has a, it's emitting hormones that are related to, I believe, sugar regulation, something, another function. So anyway, multifunctional, so important, all the internal. All right, so that's a great practice to bring in for kind of really cultivating some good energy for the liver. Okay, let's do tendon Neiguan, but we'll do a couple lunge and flows to set us up. And this is in the spirit of twisting our tendons. So the wood element also rules tendons and ligaments. And it's just a nice way of bringing out stagnation in the tendons and in the spine. And so we set up with this type of warrior two type stance. So your front foot, your hips, your shoulders are all in a line. If you drew a line from your front foot, it would land in the middle of your back foot. Your back foot's angled in a bit. And you're wide enough that when you bend and straighten your knee, when you bend your knee, especially, your knee doesn't go over the ankle too far. So we'll do a few, and if actually, let's all go to the front, the right foot forward. It'll just be easier when we get into our twist to all go to the same side. So right foot's forward, hands at the heart, your feet, your shoulders, your hips are kind of all in the same plane. To bring your hands to your heart and take a catch inhale in through the nose to the belly. As we exhale, we float the hands apart and we gently and slowly bend that front knee. So now we're into this lunge. We inhale gently and slowly straighten the knee, hands glide back to the heart. So it's with the breath, lunge and flow. And the gaze can follow that front hand. Getting a sense of unifying breath and movement. We'll hold on the next exhale our warrior two stance for a breath or three, something. So maybe making sure your knee is aligned at the middle part, like your middle toe versus like coming too far in or out. Dropping the shoulder blades on the back. Arms are parallel to the earth. You're looking over your front hand. Breathing into the belly. Smiling with stress. Down lunging ourselves a little bit. One more breath in and out. And then we will straighten the front knee, and that's the right knee, and the hand comes up like Popeye. Right there, people. The hand comes up like Popeye, so a right angle, and the front, the right, and the back goes down. And then we twist to the right. So the spine and the hips go to the right, looking over our shoulder. And then the thumbs twist away from the midline. So we're twisting our forearms and the tendons and such of the forearms. Neck, arms, and we're twisting out. So that's going to be our exhale. And then when we're ready to inhale, we glide back into our lunge with the bent knee. That's our inhale. Exhale, straighten the front knee, bend the elbows, twist to the right, look over your right shoulder and twist the thumbs away, and then fill back up with the inhale. Exhale, straighten the front knee, right angle the elbows, one up, one down, twist, 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 ring. Oh, change my angle. To your breath, inhale. Exhale, just straighten and twist. Inhale as you lunge. Tendon Neiguan. We'll do one more with the out breath, one more twist on this side. And then float back into that lunge for 2 breaths. Imagine there's water floating your arms, it's effortless. And then we'll straighten up. And let's just go to even stance, hands to the heart, and do heart to sky 3 times as a little intermission. Inhale. Flowing breath and movement are one. Sink the chest, get out of earth. Clearing obstacles out of the way of the heart and following the heart. And we'll transition to tendon, well, lunge and flow and tendon on both. On the left, with the left foot dominantly in front here. Slippery with the paw in. So we're going to line up again. So feet, hips, shoulders are in the same plane. You're wide enough that that bent knee is not compromising knee health, not you're going too far over the ankle. And we'll start with a straight knee, hands at the heart, finding our way into that plane, that equal plane, and on the next exhale, take a deep inhale. Hands float apart, we'll float into that bent knee lunge. Inhale, straighten the knee, hands float in. Gaze follows the front hand. Hold our lunge. Next exhale, we can keep the breath going. And drop the shoulder blades on the back. Check your arms if they're parallel to the earth, looking over the knees aligned with the middle toe, that kind of thing. Breath into the belly. Strong, smiling to the challenge. You can let feet just buoy our arms up. Straighten that front knee. You set up for tendon Neiguan. So left foot's forward, left arm is up, right arm is down at right angle-ish. I'm going to twist the spine, even the hips twist to the left. The head looks over the left shoulder, and we're going to twist the thumbs away from the body, away from the midline. Twist, 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 and then we fill up, inhale, and float back to lunge. Twist, straighten that front foot, twist, bring it. Float. Birkenstocks are not good. They're slippery on the pollen, especially on pollen, and they're new. Twisting ring. Filling up with the inhale. Like you're wringing out a washcloth, and then you're filling it up with fresh water with the breath. One more in and out, and then we'll go back to our lunge. Lunge for a breath or two. Back for a little round of heart to sky. Inhale. Exhale, you see the chest. Breathe as a charm. All right, walk it in. Take a sip of water, whatnot. So by way of the tendons and the ligaments, I said this being ruled by the wood element, and it implies the joints. So often focusing on the health of the joints and movements of the joints are a great practice to support the energies of the spring. And so I'll just say we'll maybe do some extra focus on the joints this season. There's a lot to cover. If we covered all aspects, we can't do it in just one class. All right, so we're gonna do some hip circles, and then we're gonna shake and do our healing sound again. And then we will have time to do both of the flows for the wood element, which is tree sways in the wind for tonifying the liver chi, and repulse the monkey. Soft knees, spiraling. Feel good. We'll go the other direction with the circles. And then I should be open. Yeah, let's do hip thrusts, and then we'll do one, symmetrical arm spirals just to open up the joints of the arm. So just a nice kind of a squat, but not super deep. And then a little push forward. We didn't do our full body flow, so this is a nice way to stretch the major muscle groups of the front body. Nice deep hinge at the hips and the knees. Use the hands or the fists to kind of create more kind of encouragement. And then we'll add the arms. So palms will face up. We're just going to go one direction, so we have enough time to do the other pose. So we're going to, once we glide the hips back, the fingers point behind us. We're keeping the palms face up the whole time. Inhale, open. If you're carrying a cup of tea in each hand, you don't want it to spill. This is twisting, right? When you get the arms the palms face up over your head, just have a nice rain out action in the arms. You can definitely make this a smaller range of motion too. I just want to encourage the modification. It could look more like this, or full on. And that the healing sound and healing color alternating exercise, what I wanted to say that I hadn't said yet was it's actually can be done and as actually is done seated most of the time. There's a whole series of the combined for the 5 elements, and that's easily done seated. So you can do that kind of in the middle of your seated work day. Two more. All right, let's shake and we'll use that healing sound on the exhale, but have a really nice deep inhale. I like to tap my heels. And I'm not making my wrists move, but I'm letting the momentum from my lower body move the wrists, move the occiput. Back to sh, sorry. More rounds. Now come to stillness and feeling your chi. The eyes into the invisible energy patterns behind we see. Take my shoes off. We're going to become trees. So feel your feet on the floor, on the earth, wherever you are. You're on a floor. Let's just acknowledge that the floor is standing in for the earth. And the earth is somewhere underneath there, even if you're on a 30-story building, right? Somewhere below you is the earth. So and that foundation of the building is in the earth. So we're gonna open up our roots, our sole of our feet, and just have a sense of connection, like gravity and even the sensations of gravity having us touch the floor, the earth, our shoes, whatever, symbolize that is the earth energy there. And even with the inhale, bringing the energy up. And the exhale, just letting the roots sink deeper. Inhale brings the energy up. Energy, exhale, energy rooting. And then maybe shift the weight in a way that you feel like your spine can really grow vertically upwards. With the crown make its way towards the heavens, towards the canopy of the forest, towards the sun. And then let your branches of your arms and shoulders kind of relax. You're suspended with such ease in this posture. And then we'll build our posture a little bit more specifically to the tree sways the wind. And the feet, if they're not already, about shoulder distance apart. Feet are facing forward. And that rooting to rise, we're just going to bring our branches out a little bit. There's an ovalish shape. The arms aren't straight and they're not super bent. The thumbs are alive. The there's like that spiral, like there's spirals, like everything is, that branch is all spirally. So we spiral our branches alive, but relaxed. With soft knees, we're going to turn, mirror me, turn to the right. And I'm turning from the hips, so the arms follow. I'm not moving my arms really. And then with the wrists kind of soft, I'm letting the hands float up, drawing the energy up the liver channel. And the wrists are soft, so the fingers naturally just dangle towards the top of the head. When I get to the top, and I turn back to the center. And then grow the branches. Branches go up, out, down, and back to where we started. Turning to the other side. Wrists are soft, the arms rise, we're drawing the energy up. The channel starts at the big toe, runs up the inside of the leg, up into here, right where we kind of padded at the beginning, and up into our head in the inner branch. And then we come back out. So we turn to the side and we inhale as the hands float up. That's the whole inhale. We turn back to center, holding the breath in, and then we exhale as we float the branches. Hold the breath out as you turn to the other side. Inhale. Exhale. And I'll just point out, it's like not like I'm seeing everything, but what I've seen in other people. We don't want the arms out when they, they're kind of close to the body when the arms floating out, when we're just kind of draping the fingers, pulling that energy up. The meridian goes all the way up into the head, and then we circulate the energy back down and out and down and around. All right, so take a catch, inhale here. And exhale here. Turn to the other side. We'll inhale, floating the hands up. Tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Turn back to center. Exhale through the nose. Other side. Inhale on the way up. Push good in. Hold the breath out. Turn. Rooted in the earth. That natural flow of the meridians. And that particular meridian of the liver flowing up inside of the leg, up the torso, into the head, encouraging the flow. Tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, just encouraging our electromagnetic circuit to be complete. I encourage you to close the eyes or soften the gaze, just bringing the focus more inward. Prioritizing that cycle of breath and movement being unified. The length of that upward motion really matches the length of your inhale, but you're also aiming to slow and deepen your breath. Cultivating generosity, kindness, joy, creativity, vision. all that arm movement, but keeping the shoulders relaxed, letting the chi really effortlessly float your hands and arms up. And the chi field all around you to buoy your arms as they float down. One more on each side, or whatever makes it side to side balance for you. Hold the arms down at that last exhale. And we'll go right into repulse the monkey, and then we'll do the standing posture for both of them. This one, with the feet in that wider stance, your hip and your feet and shoulders in the same plane. That's the plane that could say horizontal plane or whatever, the horizon plane we're returning to. For again and again, but first we're going to turn. So you can, this is new to you, watch me. Otherwise, we're turning. You can turn to the left and then open up. So your palms face up. My arms are like 180 degrees from each other. So if I'm open to the left, the right arm is in front. And then I'm going to take that back hand, kind of thread it, so you can see this, by my ear, thumb is out. I'm going to bend my knees, turn my hips back to neutral as I press down, press to repulse the monkey. So down the forearm, this hand goes up the forearm, and then I turn to the other side. Spiral open. So open to the left, you might be open to the right. So your left arm is forward, your palms are face up. The back hand comes by the ear, gallbladder channel. I can turn, let me turn a little bit, like so you can see a little better. Then the knees turn back to neutral. This is a repulse, the monkey. This is the opening up to universal mind. Bending the knees, neutral hips. And then also we're going right by the liver channel on both sides. Exhaling as we repulse. And then when we get about here, we start our spiral upward. That's our inhale. Thanks. And we are not arching the back like from the lower spine. It's really our spine's vertical. It's kind of like when we do heart to sky, that just the chest kind of reaches up. The head and the chest look up, opening up to the greater mind, to temper that monkey mind. The wood element rules the nervous system, the mental stresses. Are you confused?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to change my angle. I'm going to go opposite Deanna. Yeah, no. Keep going if you can. So opening up towards the
same direction that you are in. You're this way. I need to be your way.
Okay. So opening up, twisting to your, hang on there, everyone. No, you so you're here now, twist, yes. So then you're kind of perpendicular, there you go. Perfect, so the opening, that's what I didn't say. So that when we open up, our hips are, and our shoulders become kind of perpendicular to where our feet are. And then that back hand comes by the ear. press. Now you're forward. Now open to the other side. Yes, there you go. Inhale. Exhale. And when our palms kind of come by the forearms, the tendons of the forearms, both sides at the same time, it's almost like we're also just giving our little chi to our tendons in the forearm. We're pulsing the monkey mind and then opening it down. So bending the knees is a nice way to kind of turn hips. And then your knees get a little straighter as you open up. We'll do this and we'll kind of focus on this more sometime this month. One more on each side, and then we'll do a standing posture to really just build the chi, support the liver. So on this next one, we'll just let both arms stay forward to kind of transition to this standing posture. So feet facing forward, rooting to rise, soft knees. The arms, you can kind of, the hands are at shoulder width, as I do them close. Hands are at shoulder width. The elbows are bent, but not at a right angle. Let the chi field, or you can imagine your arms resting on top of some water. Keep the shoulders relaxed, the crown going up. And we're going to visualize green light in the liver, that right side of the rib cage. Tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, deep belly breaths, 3 strong, full, slow rounds. Green light in the liver. Glowing with health and vitality. Creature of the forest, chipmunk. And we'll pull down the heavens 3 times. This be effortless. Wherever you can find effortlessness in your practice, where the chi is doing the work, that's a great place to practice and lean into, to bring that into other flows and postures as we learn them. And then wood element is also like a bamboo. So we're doing our bamboo in the wind or standing shavasana. So spreading the toes, getting a nice firm, solid base. Knees and feet together. Let the soft tissue, let the tendons and ligaments soften. Your bones hold you up. Smiling to your liver, kindness and generosity, appreciation for your liver. Circle around the navel. Storage, just directing the energy to store any excess for healing, growth, and repair. All right, let's be kind and generous with each other and with ourselves. And keep your vision alive. We'll keep working with all these principles for the spring. You know, we'll work some joints, we'll work our vision with all heart, and some water to wood. We'll continue and some manifestation. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Happy wood element
Yeah.
spring goodness.
Enjoy the spring.
Yay. And thank you for your love offerings in advance. I say yay. And next week I will be here. I will have a bandage on my wrist and we'll do an appropriate practice and I won't maybe do everything. We'll see. I don't know how I'll feel, but we'll be here. And then I'm taking 2 weeks off. So I'll be
Perfect.
here next week. Doop, doop. All right.
Thank you.
Sharing lots of love. If you want to hold me in the light on Friday for my procedure, I will appreciate that.
You got it.
Beth, what time is it, Beth? Sorry, I missed
I
that.
don't know the time yet.
Okay,
They
you'll
won't
get
tell
the
me.
beam all day then.
All
Okay,
day.
All
I'll take
day.
it.
awesome.
Thank
Blessings.
you all.
Love you.
Thank you for being
Bye.
a part of my loving family and community. Appreciate you all.
Bye.
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 Thank you.